Hi everyone, I am Brian with Playing for Second, and I am back with another unboxing because my buying lately has gotten out of control. So join me at the table today. We are unboxing Fields of Fire, the new Deluxe Edition. Okay, so this is one I actually, I owned the original Fields of Fire years ago when I was in a bit of a war game buying spree. Not playing spree, buying spree. And ultimately, I think all the games I bought, with the exception of maybe IAF Leader and Warfighter, I ended up selling. So, this one interests me again. Well, they've always interested me, which is why I went into the buying spree. But this one here, one of the knocks on the old Fields of Fire, and it really wasn't a knock, it was very difficult to learn. The rule book was supposedly not very good. And I use that as a fantastic excuse to not even try to learn it before I just sold it last time. But with the Deluxe Edition, there's a revised rule book. They had some outside help, I think, from some fans of the game. And so yeah, the rule book's supposed to be better. And they made some changes to it. So I'm pretty excited to take a look at this one. Take a look at the back here real quick before we get going. This is a Solitaire World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War game. You can play all those in this version. And what's unique about this one is there's no map. The cards are the map, which I thought was pretty neat because it really allows you to expand, the map, because you can continue to put more cards out. All right, so yeah, you're going to see the rules. Third edition, they're calling it on the rules here. It's probably the third edition of the rules. 96 pages. So this is one, don't expect to see a video on the channel of this one anytime soon. I've got a few more lined up before I'm going to attempt to tackle this one. Tim also owns this game, so maybe I can see if I can convince Tim to, maybe the two of us just try to learn it together as we go. But yeah, this is still a lengthy rule book. It is just supposedly a better rule book. So it is a war game, so you're going to see a bunch of chits, and I'm sure there are charts that we're going to see all over the place here. And I do know it also has multi-use cards. The cards are used to determine, I think, if you hit, how many action points you get, things like that, from some of the playthroughs that I've seen. I am noticing for a GMT rulebook, there's a decent amount of pictures in here. And I don't have a huge experience with GMT, but from some of the games that I have played, to me, this seems like a good amount of pictures. Here's some charts. Looks like movement actions. But yeah, pictures and examples, which, there's an example of what a board. This looks like Normandy Mission 1, it says. But this is your starting area. And then that is effectively, those other 12 cards there are effectively your map that you're trying to go through, which is pretty neat. So yeah, I also like that it is spiral bound. That's pretty cool. Especially for a larger book like that, because a normal binding would probably be pretty difficult with just some staples. Okay, Rifle Infantry, Rifle Company, Infantry Regiment, Fields of Fire Field Manual, Part 1, Basic Platoon and Company Training. So this also looks like maybe another way to learn the game. Basic training, yeah. Again, a really good job with the pictures and the examples in it as well. Very cool. All right. Expect more books, of course. Rifle Company, Infantry, and Airborne Battle Groups, Part 2, Advanced Operations. So my guess is it kind of starts to ease you into some of the rules, and this gets some of your advanced rules. But again, looks like a really nice job with examples. Still definitely a lot to read and learn to play the game. Which, I'm kind of looking forward to on one half. Hopefully, if it does kind of spoon feed it to you, that'd be really great. All right, Keep Up the Fire, standalone mission and example of play. So here we go, just straight up example of play, which is I assume, very helpful with games like this. Cool. Most of the books look the same, but yeah. Here is the Vietnam campaign mission book. So I don't know, there's might be some spoilers in here, so I'm not gonna really, I don't think it's not a campaign by any means, but still, that's a campaign book there. This one's flipped the other way. All right, Heartbreak Ridge mission book, August to October 1951. Okay. Oh, cool. Good looking charts. All right, I'm gonna guess another campaign book. The Nakton River Mission book, August to September of 1950. Cool. Unit breakdown and everything, neat. I've spent the last 2 days clipping corners on chits for Enemy Action Kharkov, Enemy Action Ardennes, and the new Space Empires expansion. And I'm just now getting to the chits, and it looks like I'm not quite done yet. Which is fine, except for the fact that I can barely feel the hand, because, yeah, that's a lot of chits. All right, here's the Normandy mission book, June 8th to August 16th, 1944. Very cool. I am most excited about the World War II portion of this one. All right, and yes, we have some chits to look at here. And again, I'm not overly familiar with the game. I mean, these are standard GMT chits. They're very good for what they are. I mean, you know, if you're not a war gamer, yeah, these are a little intimidating. And I'm really not a war gamer. I'm very intrigued by it. I would like to be. So hopefully these war games I've been buying get played and I enjoy them. But yeah, very good cuts. I don't see any that are off center. Very nice. Different colors, I presume, are different armies. Or at least some type of, maybe different weapons, things like that. Cool. All right, there's some foxholes. Cover. So yeah, I believe this is, you don't roll dice in it, but I believe those are effectively kind of dice roll mitigators, or modifiers, really. If you're in cover, obviously you're going to be harder to hit, and things like that, so I think it will change. And again, I don't believe you roll dice. I believe the dice are effectively a deck of cards that you would be flipping to see what the result would be, kind of deal. Nice. All right, looks like he has 6 counter sheets in total. I don't know how many are on each counter, but like my hand genuinely hurts from cutting counters, so we might wait a couple days before we tackle these. All right, here we go. Charts and Tables, Player Aid 1. So this is actually a fold out, so 4 pages. Pyrotechnics, that's fun. Weapons capability, capacity. No, weapons capability, transportation capacity. Range, things like that. All right, action menus. Oh boy. You've got some actions you can do, apparently. Ceasefire. Nah, just keep going. Cool. Okay. All right, here is a Normandy campaign. Appears to be a campaign sheet. Front and back, I think. Looks like they might be the same. This is something that I will definitely either laminate or maybe just, I'm sure there's probably copies of this up on the GMT website you can just print out. But I rarely use the ones that come with the game because they're nice. You know, this is nice cardstock with a nice finish on it. I'll just print out a piece of paper and maybe laminate it. There's the Vietnam War one. That's it. I don't see one for the third campaign. Might not need it. Sequence of play. Oh, only one-sided. All right. See, super easy to learn this game. That's technically only 3 things that you do. 3.8 is cleanup, and it's all down here. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They're all 3. So I guess there's 8 things you can do. 3.1 to 3.8. Cool. All right. Helicopter control card, U.S. Marine Corps. All right. This is just about the helicopter control card. Interesting. That must be kind of its own little mechanic, maybe that sits off to the side of the board, maybe? I'm guessing. Otherwise, I'm not sure why you would need a specific thing for that. Air assault planning. Okay. This looks like we're going to put specific chits here to signify the air assault, which is neat. And missions 4 and 7, mission 6. Did this one have a mission? Yep, mission 1, and then 4 waves. Neat. Okay. Vehicle and anti-tank weapons chart. Oh boy. Yeah, that's certainly, that's a chart. That's what that is. Anti-tank combat resolution and modifiers. So, cool. I hope that someday in my future I won't need these and I'll just know these, but it seems very unlikely because there's so many things. Sniper, I like that. Enemy out of ammo procedure, enemy falls back. I mean, yeah, there's lots of charts and lots of things when you're playing this one. Like I said, this one was, I probably bit off more than I can chew with this one for a second time, but I want to try it because it's supposed to be so good. And it looks, I mean, it looks fun. I think One Stop Co-op Shop did a playthrough of the training scenario. And that's kind of what convinced me to buy it, because he was playing through it. And I mean, it looked like fun. It was interesting what you were doing. I'm very interested in the World War II history portion. Korea and Vietnam, I don't know as much about. So, I mean, this is something, though, that you can kind of play and learn a little something while you go as well. Cool. So, okay, those are all of the chits and charts and rule books, which makes up a good portion of the game. And then you do have different card packs in here. There's some baggies. Now the card packs, I don't know if I'm going to open them because I didn't I mean, obviously the box wasn't opened. I did pre-cut the box, so I didn't make a fool of myself trying to open the box. But I did not do that for these, so I'm not going to make a fool of myself doing these here. But this, effectively, this is the card I was talking about with the playthrough. It's multi-use card. It determines if you hit, it determines like a die roll, it determines like combat points. This word rally will mean specific things when you're drawing it. If you're looking for the word rally, cool. If you're not, you know, that's obviously not as helpful. And then these are going to make up your map, you know, hill, no woods, and then there's your action deck, and then there will be a deck of, this one's Normandy, this is also Normandy, there's the Nakton River. So you'll have different decks for whether you're doing World War II, Korea, or Vietnam, and those decks will make up, you know, those specific campaigns. So again, kind of neat, no dice involved at all. There's still, I mean, luck of drawing cards, but obviously you can also mitigate that luck by being better at the game, I would imagine, which won't be a problem for me. I'm going to be terrible at the game. The other thing I picked up is, and there's not a lot to unpack here. This is the Bulge campaign, so the Battle of the Bulge. And it just comes in this bag. And the main reason I picked this up is a lot of times GMT games aren't available for very long. And I was very interested in this campaign. I'm hoping to like the game because this is something else that I was very interested in playing. So you have your mission book, historical situation, which is this. Yeah, this looks like it might just tell you a little bit about what's going on, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, the chits that are going to be used for the Bulge campaign. Can't not have charts for the Bulge campaign. Actually, this is the second one here. Looks like it's the campaign sheet. And then, of course, a deck of cards for Ardennes in 44 to 45 when the Battle of the Bulge took place and where the Battle of the Bulge took place. So, very excited to get into this one. So, yeah, that's what you're getting if you pick up the Fields of Fire Deluxe Edition. I'm actually working on 3D printing an insert for it to keep things nice and separate. Someone has one up on Thanaverse that I am currently trying to print, and I kind of need to see how he has it because I know there's multiple colors in there, so that if you're doing this campaign, you know you can just go grab the tray that is this color because it matches up with it, which will really help setup and storage for it. I don't know if it includes the Bulge campaign, but if not, I'm sure I can design something to go along with that. So like I mentioned, this one, don't expect a channel. The last couple unboxings I did, actually I'm not sure what order I'm going to post them, but Salt Fjord and Space Empires, most likely going to get those played prior to this one, because this one is going to take me a while to learn. It'll kind of be what I have to do for a week or so. Just kind of sit down with the rule book, get it set out, and I'm sure I'll have a bunch of questions that most likely BGG will be able to answer. So, but yeah, if that looks interesting to you, check out Fields of Fire. The Deluxe Edition is the newest version, and it is from GMT Games. So thanks for joining me. We'll catch you next time.